Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm going to be starting a new series, the Why Nobody Plays series, and what better way to start it off than with my personal main, the Twins. Before this video starts guys, I'd like to apologise for the lack of uploads. I've been I was getting kind of burnt out at the moment sort of thing from uploading, and I just decided to take a bit of a break, but I'm here now and hopefully I'll be ready to start uploading properly again. Hopefully. That's the main word there, hopefully. Also guys, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to like and subscribe to help my videos reach more people. Would be much appreciated guys, thanks. Right, to start off with, we're going to go over a few of the base stats of the Twins. So Charlotte is a very basic killer. She's 115%, 32 meter terror radius, and she's tall. Very basic, nothing special here. However, Victor is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Victor, on the other hand, moves at 150%, which is 50% faster than the survivors running. He has 3 unique lullaby radiuses, one that is 12 meters when he's idle, which means he's stationary on the floor, one 40 meters, which is when he's attached to a survivor and the killer instinct is around the survivor, and then 80 meters when being controlled by the player. So when Victor's approaching, that's how far away you'll be able to hear it. Now let's move away from the base stats of the killer and let's move on to more of the power of the killer. So Charlotte is essentially the M1 killer of the Twins, with the ability to occasionally go dormant when releasing Victor, which can occasionally catch less aware survivors off guard. In case you didn't know, Charlotte loses her terror radius and red stain when Victor is being controlled. She essentially has built-in Insidious, which in my opinion is quite funny. And Charlotte can retain some of her collision when she is controlling Victor, allowing for interesting plays at tiles. So what you need to gather from that is basically Charlotte is there to help Victor be able to be there. If Charlotte wasn't there, Victor wouldn't be able to be there in the lore. It explains it all in the lore. I'll probably make a video on the lore one day as well. Now I'd like to move on to Victor though, which is the main power of the Twins and what makes the Twins and why they are such a unique killer. Victor is in my opinion, the most unique killer or power, whatever you want to call him, in the game. Or to be honest, the whole killer is probably the most unique in the game. Victor can pounce onto healthy survivors, causing 3 status effects: the broken, oblivious, and incapacitated status effects. I won't go too much into detail on what these do, as the video will be too long. Essentially, you can't do most actions, you are no longer able to hear Charlotte's terror radius, and you cannot be healed. You also cause the survivor you pounced on to give away the locations of nearby survivors with killer instinct. When when Victor pounces onto an injured survivor, they will be downed and Victor will enter a cooldown. This cooldown was increased to 5 seconds recently, up from 3. In the video in the background, it's quite an old video and it's still the 3-second one, so keep that in mind. It's not as short as what it is in the video in the background. But yeah, and Victor can also be placed in strategic locations to reveal survivors near him as well. That's another good tip. That's in my guide on the forums. Now all of that information is out of the way guys, let's just try and figure out what actually happened to the Twins and what has caused them to be one of the most forgotten killers in the whole of Dead by Daylight. Here are my 3 possible reasons which could be affecting their pick rate. The overall buggy release of the chapter, the state it was made in the PTB, how everything just played out when it first released, the community's perception, so that could be content creators making statements about the killer, people getting a general bad feel of what the killer is but it's not actually like that, and the overall reactions of the Twins reveal. Right then, let's start with the most obvious one. Let's start with the release of the Twins. Oh my god, this chapter was released in an absolutely awful state. Not only were the Twins so buggy to the point they were essentially unplayable on release day, but their power could also be made completely redundant by survivors jumping into lockers, as the holding locker animation that was mentioned in the PTB patch notes wasn't even implemented yet. On top of that, half the perks didn't function. This just was the worst chapter release in DBD history. No other chapter comes close to the abysmal release that was the Twins. This no doubt has altered the perception of this killer and has left a bad taste in people's mouths whenever they speak about the Twins. However, the Twins are now in a much better state, although they do have their moments where I'm like, why did this not hit? they are in a much better state than they were, so people may need to stop thinking about that. Next, let's move on to the community's perception of the killer. As with any chapter, content creators began making videos on the twins, giving tips and tricks on how to play them, and the playstyle they believe to be the best and the most effective for high rank gameplay. Most content creators, not to name any, believed this killer to only be effective when mass slugging survivors or camping. This, combined with the lack of actual twins mains being able to educate people on what their power can be used for, has made the twins seem like the most boring killer to play as and against. And you can see this whenever I watch a VOD on Twitch, for example, from people that I've versed. The reactions that I get are just, oh, it's twins, time to get camped and slugged, or, oh, it's twins, nice to see someone plays them now. We shouldn't have to be thinking in this way. This killer should be a part of the regular gameplay of Dead by Daylight, but instead we have these little lines that we say whenever we verse them because of what's happened in the past. It just goes to show that content creators have a bigger impact on people's perceptions than you may think, as even though these people may have never even versed twins in their life before, or versed them maybe once or twice since they're released, they believe straight away that this is how the twins player will play. This has also made inexperienced twins players play in this way, which has then further increased the hatred towards the killer. There is no right way to play twins in my opinion, and they are a very complex killer and they have multiple different playstyles. So that's my opinion on that part. And then finally, one of the points that I think probably influenced the hatred towards the twins the most was the community's reactions to the reveal of the twins. As with all chapters, everyone was speculating some crazy stuff like we had for the Pinhead release earlier this month. Yeah, it was earlier this month. People were speculating, oh, it's going to be Springtrap, oh, it's going to be this person, oh, it's going to be Chucky. But no one actually ever knows, so people hype up for these killers, and then when they actually drop, they're completely different to what they thought, and they get disappointed. So yeah, for the twins chapter, we had people saying, oh, we're going to get Until Dawn Wendigo, we're going to get The Grudge, we're going to get other different types of urban legends, and then this had the community very hyped as usual, and then when it came to real, many people were confused, a bit disappointed, and then this had led to many people just forgetting about the twins when they came to the live game. Many were getting hyped for the next chapter already. I remember seeing videos from, I don't know, I think it was from The King. They had already made a chapter theory video for the next chapter already, and it had just released. So the twins was very unexpected and quite a downright weird killer to most people, so most people just don't even give them a chance. They got their perks and then just refused to touch them since. So guys, these are just some of the reasons to why people don't play the twins. I personally believe if they hadn't been released in such a buggy state, the locker mechanic was implemented on the day of release, the twins would be played a lot more, and we would have many more twins mains teaching us new and intricate ways to use their power. Thanks all for watching. Let me know guys what you think. Is there something that I'm missing? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching again guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.